Hi y'all, welcome back. So here today on my channel, what I thought I would have us do is show you how to get a really nice solid day one start. Now, I'm playing 7 Days to Die right now on the Xbox One. You've seen me play it on the PC. There are different ways to begin it on the PC versus the Xbox, but so what we chose here is a random gen world. It's a random gen world. I just named it Day 1 so that any name as goes the rest. Just so you know, when you do name your world the random gen, it does produce a world based on what you named it. So right away, as soon as I start, I'm going to want to head towards the green area. In the green area, you find more resources, you find more water, you find more plants, you find more wood, and all the things that you need to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and over into the green area. And just basically head north looking for buildings. I mean, not even north, just any direction. Just pick a direction and go, because what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to get ourselves prepared so that we have a nice amount of food, a nice amount of everything. And so as you walk around, make sure that you're picking up these little rocks. Make sure you're hitting for grass. You're going to want to pick up as many rocks, as much grass as possible. And right in the beginning, you're going to want to basically get a little bit of wood. Get like maybe 3 or 4 a piece of wood, and go into your crafting menu and quickly build yourself a stone axe. Because the stone axe, it just takes a little bit of grass, takes a little bit of rock, takes a little bit of wood, but it makes it so that you can harvest everything a lot faster. So first, make yourself a stone axe, and then go and equip that into your toolbar there. And now, if you notice, when you smack it, it's getting way more than 1 per hit, so that's much better. This goes also for the rocks. See these big stones out here in the field? These also, if you smack them, you get the rock and the iron out of it. It's very nice. So there's a couple of different resources we're going to want to grab. Stone, plant life, wood, and then clay is what we're going to want to grab. So quickly make yourself a shovel. You can make it out of stone and some wood right there. Make yourself a shovel, equip it on a toolbar, and then if you check out your map, on the map there's these brown spots. The brown spots are basically where you'll find clay. Head on over there and start digging. You're going to want to dig directly into the ground, and you're going to want to dig until you have roughly about like 100 clay or so. As you see, you get about 10 per swipe, or every other swipe, and you're getting that based on how much endurance that you have and the quality of the shovel. And so just go and dig a quick trench, grab 100. Even if you don't use it today, you're going to want to get 100 clay, because when it's time to make a forge, which if we could do that tonight would be perfect, but if we have to push it out till tomorrow, no big deal. If you can get 100 clay, it's necessary for the forge to have 90 on you. So I recognize this base right here. If you look at it, it's got the light in the front. It's got a little fence around the back that's all chained up like that, how it's different patchwork. Not chained up. The fence in the back is different patchwork colors. This is actually the top of a bunker. If you break into that front building, there's a little metal strip in the floor that takes you down into the bunker. Now, this would be an excellent building to start, but there are no other buildings around, so even though it would be nice to stay here, I don't think I'm going to stay here. There's other places in the... you don't want to choose a house in the middle of nowhere. When you do that, you end up having a hard time finding resources. You have to travel farther and farther to find resources. Things that you can't find in the woods, mechanical parts, batteries, stuff like that. So I'm going to head on out, and we're just going to keep on walking through the forest looking for food, more signs of civilization, and obviously more wood and everything as I'm going. Of course, all the while, I'm going to speed this footage up here. You don't want to watch me just walk all day. Of course, all the while, you're going to want to keep your eye out for tree trunks. You're going to want to keep your eye out for, obviously, nests, because in the nests you can pick up feathers. Gather as many feathers and eggs as you can. If you combine your eggs with either water or with some meat, you can make bacon eggs or boiled eggs. With the feathers, you can make yourself arrows. You can make them right away. They're really handy ranged weapons that you can get on day 1. We'll make some arrows here in a little bit. Oh, so this tree right here has something perfect. Cooking pot. So at some point you're going to want to go ahead and make yourself a club. So go into your crafting menu. You can type it in, or you can just type on that, click on that little knife up there, and going to make yourselves a wood club. We're going to need a wood club for general just beatery uppery. You're going to want to smack the zombies in the face. When you hit them, I mean put them in the face. Put that X right on their head. If you put it anywhere else, it's going to start smacking their body. It's going to do minimal damage. But go and make yourself a club. It'll be good just for the first day. We're going to make ourselves an iron reinforced club before the day is over. That's your first adequate weapon. This one you can smack someone in the head twice, 3 times. It might not drop them. The iron reinforced club finally starts to get a little bit of damage. Now this house seems to be all by itself again. I really want to get a house that is near other houses, so I'm not even going to bother exploring. It's just going to take time. So I'm going to continue to move across the landscape here in the same direction. I'm going to go for the top of the mountain so I can hopefully see road patterns or any kind of patterns out there that indicate there's civilization. So about here, it's time to start working on bow and arrows. We picked up enough wood, we picked up enough grass. If you check the nests, some of them have feathers in them. So since I've gathered a certain amount of feathers here, we're going to go up to our crafting menu. And you can either type it in, or you can just click on the common items there. You can see arrows. We're going to go ahead and make as many arrows as we can possible. And as you can see, I have a bow right there, which is also super easy to make. It's just wood, and it's just it's plants. It's super easy. So check every single nest, because you see some of them have feathers in it, and some of them have eggs in it. But you can use both of them, frankly. And also make sure to check every single stump, because you never know what's you're gonna find in one of these guys. Ah, see, first aid kit right there. These tree trunks are like little mini treasure chests out here. You just go from one to the other. Sometimes you find them, there's not a whole lot. Sometimes you've got a flashlight like that one. Flashlight's very handy. And there's my first sign of civilization right there. But it looks like it's kind of by itself. It is a tower. On a side note, these towers are a great place to get electrical parts. You come here with a wrench, and you start knocking down the base of that tower with the wrench. It gives you nothing but electrical parts and steel and a couple other items, but it's an excellent place to come when it's time to look for those resources. Now again, there's a little house up here, but it's all by itself. I'm not about to set up on this little shack. If I set up in this shack, I might as well have just made some wood frames myself. It's not even a house. So I'm going to just continue on down the road looking for more signs of civilization. If you notice there's a road there, we're going to try to follow that general direction. Roads tend to lead to cities, and as always, don't forget to check every single nest. So this is a weird biome right here. If you look, we're at the crossroads of two different biomes coming together. We have this nice lush green area right next to what looks like a bit of the desert, a bit of the it's not quite the burn, it's just a bit of the ruin. And then off in the distance you can see a little bit of the snow. Now if there were buildings here, this would be perfect, because you could set up and start grabbing resources from multiple biomes, but that's okay. We'll just continue to head on, because it looks like just a watering hole. It looks like it's got some of those little burners around here. Food time. Now, if you notice over here, we have a pig running. We have a deer running. I'm going to go and take a shot at the deer, but if I don't nail the deer, then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the pig, because you see, deers are really hard, but pigs, on the other hand, on the PC, the pig will attack you, so be careful with it. But on the Xbox, the pig just runs. Run, pig, run. So go and give it a follow. Just plunk it with your arrows as you go along. It's going to take 3 or 4 shots. It depends on where you hit it. Try to aim a little bit high, so you smack it somewhere more in, like, you know, the head area, upper back, kind of torso area. But as soon as you drop it, though, you're going to want to switch to any kind of a bladed weapon. You're going to want to grab a bone from a zombie and turn it into a knife, or if you happen to have a knife on you, that'd be best. Since I don't have a knife, I'm going to use my axe. Now, we got a notification right now saying that the zombies can smell us. That we're playing on the Xbox, and it's a couple alphas behind the PC, and so they still have the smell feature on it. So long as I have this meat on my person, the zombies will be able to kind of sense me from a distance. They'll be able to smell it. So part of what I want to do is get to where we're going and quickly put this in a storage chest so that I don't have to worry about the smell on me. So as I'm walking through the hills here, I look over and I see the flag. The flag really means one thing. It means a trader. There's a trader out here. Now, the trader, you're going to want to mark the trader. Even if you don't come to him right away, you're always going to want to keep track of where the trader is. A trader, he will buy goods from you. He will give you tokens back. You trade the tokens in for goods from him, and you can get yourself some really, really nice items. You can get very complicated items, nice weaponry, ammo, everything you think of. He kind of has a rotating stock and inventory and a loot. So I'm going to go in there just for a moment. I don't have anything to sell to him. I'm just going to go in here to regroup, to build myself some new weapons, and to kind of loot his stuff. So while I was in there looting, some zombies have collected by the door. So go ahead and pull out your club, open the door, and back on up. Back on up. Make sure you're aiming for her head. And since she's down, I'm going to close that door and privately kill her without having to worry about anybody interrupting our little club. Alright, time to move on. Alright, one thing I have to do really quick here is I'm going to go ahead and make some ladders and some sleeping bags and some items so that when I arrive at my destination, I'm ready to put the meat away in a storage chest. I'm ready to use some ladders to get on any roofs that I might have to in a hurry, because ultimately what we're looking for is a building with a tall roof with a stone base that we can build a ladder and climb up the side and use it up at night. Now, I know what you're thinking. Zombies will follow you up the ladder. If you chop out the bottom rung, they will not follow you up. So that's where we're going. We're looking for a town. We're looking for any two-story building that has stone walls and a stone foundation. Alright, it looks like we're starting to get to where we're looking for. Now, I know you don't see a town here, but what I do see is in the distance what looks like very, very flat area and roads. Now, very, very flat area like that usually indicates to me they're trying to set up a city, trying to generate it. Maybe my draw distance can't see it. Ooh, a shirt. So let's go and swim across this, head on over there, and see if we can't get any buildings to pop. So right when I was starting to run out of a little bit of patience, bam! Look at that. It's just draw distance stuff, and that's a beautiful building to loot. So if I can go and pop up anywhere around here, this would be a pretty good place to start. Even if it's the oldie building, there are so many floors and rooms in there that it's so many boxes to loot and items to find stuff that we're going to go ahead and give this place a first try. So these places, though, they're dangerous because there's a lot of spaces for enemies to spawn in there. So we're going to want to go on the roof. But as you can see, we already have lumberjacks chasing us. So this place I'm actually giving second thought to. A good place to loot, but I'm not sure it's the best place to live. So lo and behold, it's not the only place to live. I was very concerned that that was going to be the place. Turns out I have other options. Yep, this place will do just perfect. So put some ladders on the side, but don't put it to the bottom. Raise it off the ground one square like you see right there. If you can raise it off the ground one square, then you are able to jump up to it and grab it, but the zombies cannot jump up and grab it. So you can safely climb your ladder, and the zombies cannot climb your ladder. It keeps you safe at night. And now that we're up here, I made a couple items to prepare for being up here. One was the storage chest, and another one was a sleeping bag. So your sleeping bag, you're going to want to put it down when you arrive at your destination. The sleeping bag is basically, it's your respawn point. When you die, you will come back to life where that sleeping bag is placed, so put it in a safe place. Secondly, I'm going to want to go and put down that storage box that I had. I made it earlier. Let's go ahead and put that down right there. And inside the storage box, I immediately am going to want to take the meat out. If I could take the meat out and put it inside, they can no longer smell me like they were before. The zombies totally saw me climb. They know I'm up here. There's no way around that, but they can't smell me. And so now that you're up here, if you look at the time, it is pretty late in the day. So for day one, this is what we're going to do. We're going to find a camp. We have our weapons. We have our base, our water, our food. And we will tomorrow assault the bases next to us. And that's a well. So behind that tree is a well. Down the well, there is a ladder. Down the ladder, there is a very sizable bunker that we might make our home. That's to be determined. So tomorrow night, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the hotel next door. We're going to go and we'll find ourselves some iron pipes. We're going to take that with the stone and with the clay we have. We're going to make ourselves a forge on day 2 and start smelting some iron and really getting this place kicked into overdrive. So after you go and you find yourself the roof and you determine that you're stable for the night, make a campfire. Get yourself some wood in the campfire, obviously. Now, if you noticed earlier, I found a grill and a cooking pot in a couple of tree trunks. That's why you want to check your tree trunks. Hang on to those. Place those in there right away, and that allows you to start grilling your meat, boiling your water. If you have dirty water, you can purify it. If you have meat, you can grill it, which is, it makes more efficient food. So since we have these eggs, and we have that meat in the chest, we're going to put wood in the forge, light it up, go into our chest and grab our meat out of there, combine it with the eggs, and we're going to make ourselves some bacon and eggs. So now we cook the food. Let's go and enjoy the fruits of our labors. Throw in your hot bar, give it a good trigger, and ooh la la. Now that meat, it replenishes a decent amount of food. Whenever you cook more and more complicated food, it's better for you. Not just for replacing your hunger, it's also better for you when it comes to your wellness. You actually get more and more health the better food you eat. So always try to eat cooked food if you can. Eggs, pigs, deer, any of the vegetables, it will all help you go up in level. So since we're here for the night, you can either hit the ground, it will give you stone. You can hit the sides, it will give you clay and sand, or you can smack the air ducts up here, they will give you iron. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening. We're pretty much done with the first night of the day. We have ourselves a base, it's secure, the zombies can't get us. We have a campfire, some food cooking, we have a storage percent, and we have ourselves surrounded by several biomes and a couple of opportunities for some looting. So I want to thank you all for joining this evening. I will be doing another one of these on how to get ahead on day 2. I'll just pick up this series exactly where I left off so I can show you how to turn day 1 into day 2, and day 2 will be a forge, I promise you that. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't been here before, because I do 7 Days Die all the time. Other than that, thank you for joining, and I will see you all in the next video.